have to be friends with gays.
I know, it's the dream. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sasha. If you're new here, I chat shit for a living. And if you're not new here, then you already know that. Today we're gonna do a makeup tutorial. It's been so long since I've done a makeup tutorial with you guys, so I hope that you enjoy it. We've gone for like, just focusing on the lashes really. Please let me know if you've enjoyed this sort of video. Leave me a comment down below. Please make sure you're subscribed. Share on your socials. We wanna grow this platform. We wanna grow this community. So grateful for you all as always, and hope you enjoy. Okay, I'm just really hoping that the sound quality is okay because I've clipped you here, but there's a big fat extractor fan going off and that's not that helpful. I'm not going to do too much to my skin because I did it not too long before I left for Paddington. So what sort of look are we going to go for today? I'm wearing this colour. It's like purple. And then I have silver accessories, but I packed all of my makeup thinking like, oh, let's use a couple of new bits. Do you think I've packed anything I actually want to use? The answer is no. I've not even bought like a pinky lipstick, and that's the vibe I wanted to go for. Actually, wait. Yeah, no, I've really not thought this through. Alas, nothing new. What I wanted to do for my makeup, having only just decided now, once I've packed, is like a really sort of pink, sparkly, not too heavy on the eyes, loads of lashes look. It has been so long since we've done a makeup video together, so I thought tutorial away. You guys love the tutorials. I haven't done them for so long. I want to bring them back. I want to do more. I'm still trying to find something better than the Got To Be glue, but I haven't. But I essentially brush the product through, brush it back against the sort of direction of the hair growth, and then sort of flatten them that way. And I feel like nothing sticks or holds better than that for me, in my opinion. On the eyes, I'm gonna use this Vive shadow stick in the shade Vanilla. I wanted shimmery, that's not gonna happen, so I'm gonna keep everything quite light and bright on the eyes and just focus on lashes and then like really nice fresh skin. So I start by kind of loosely just putting it all over my eyelid and then taking a blending brush and just buffing out that outer edge, making sure that all of my movements in my socket are sort of rounded and back and forth. And then only when I get to this outer edge am I keeping it a little bit more straight and elongated. I don't want it to look too producty, but I do just want that sort of like light and bright base, you know, you can kind of see the difference already. Then we're gonna take our beloved Makeup by Mario Masters palette. I'm gonna pop this sort of creamy color all over the lid just to act as like a bit of a base. And then for eye socket color, I'm actually going to go for this really sort of warm reddy color because I feel like that is going to like pick out the tones of the pinky in that dress. So I'm just starting by placing the product, and then once you've kind of got it in place, then you can go back over, just buff and blur that out. You might want to take a clean blending brush, which is sometimes what I like to do, because ideally you want to place with one product and blend with a cleaner brush. We can try that. This is slightly thinner than I want to use, but it should still do the job. Really blend that out. I only want like a bit of a tone rather than huge shaping or huge placement. See the difference? Then what I'm thinking we could use is we could use the ambient lighting palette from Hourglass and maybe use that in this, like on the lid, that bit of shimmer. I mean, yeah, that's better than nothing, isn't it? Do we want to do liner or do we just want to keep it all fresh? I'm thinking maybe if we go for a bit of brown, just right up into the lash line. So what you want to do here is imagine you're rubbing the liner half where your lashes are and half where your eyelid is. So you're getting it right into the root of the base of your eyelid. And then another little tip I like to do is when I get closer into the inner corner of my eye there, I'll keep my eye a bit more open but look slightly outwards. And then by having your eye open, you can then sort of get into that without smudging it and going down below. I'm using a smudgy brush. It's going like right over the top of it. And just this little bit of depth is going to help for the lashes not to look cheap. And then I always just use my finger to keep manipulating that shape. I'm going to take this dark matte brown shade on one of my favourite brushes of all time, which is the My Kit Co Pro 1.20 brush. Just taking a little bit of the brown shadow right on the tip of the brush and then just going over to make sure it's all sort of seamlessly blended and not we don't want any harsh lines basically. And then just go back over with a blending brush to make sure it's all like properly blended in together. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do on the eye. I think the rest of the drama I'm going to add with lashes. But can you see the difference between that slight bit of liner there? It just brings and blends everything together a bit more seamlessly than that, which is quite sort of like bare. So when you were to put lashes there, you're going to get quite a harsh contrast, whereas this is going to help it sort of seamlessly blend in a bit better. I'm going to do my top mascara now, and I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario Master Mascara Super Black because I want my lashes to be dramatic. I'm very into brown mascara at the moment. I say at the moment, I've been into brown mascara since I was about 16. I don't know why I'm saying that. My tip for mascara is to always hold a mirror slightly below your chin. So you're looking down into the mirror to catch your lashes as you brush them up. When you hold your mirror in front of you, you're more likely to then take that wand back onto your skin, whereas by looking down, it gives more space on that sort of curve. And I like to place it at the bottom of the lash, wiggle it at the root, and then sort of resist blink against it, and then drag it to the ends. I'm going to put some little individuals on as well. Now for lashes, I've been using these for absolute years. They're just from Primark, but I love the sort of like the base of the lash, you've got a bit of a straight line. I think they're fab. So I'm going to use these. You see this little tray, I'm going to fill that up with glue so that it kind of oxidizes a little bit. Similarly with my lash application, there's two things you need. One is a pair of tweezers, and you want to make sure that they're clean, you've got nothing on them. And then the other thing you want to do is have your mirror, again, looking down, because you're going to pinch the lash and place it like that. So again, you've got this space to play with as you're looking down into the mirror, as opposed to trying like to go like that. You know what I mean? I like to work with lashes 3/4 of the way. These are all the same length. They're all 10 millimeters, but I will normally pull it off. Make sure to get any pre-set glue bubbles away. I'll dip the base into the glue and then normally work with 2 at a time. So I'll set that one and then do the same with this one. And then by the time I've glued and set this one, I'll go back to the first one. You want to be careful not to get too much, well, any glue on your tweezers. You want to keep that glue free. I don't think you can see, but I've literally pinched just the end, and then I'm looking down into the mirror and placing it in place. And then just gently tap that down with your finger. I also prefer, it depends what side, if you're left or right-handed, but I'm right-handed, so I like to have my tweezers slightly to the right of the lash, so it gives me as much control. I normally end up doing about 3 or 4 lashes. I think today I'm probably gonna end up doing 3, but I also have these Ardell lashes, which are a little bit more individual, that I can then go in afterwards and fill in any gaps. I like my lashes, I like any false lashes to not look like false lashes, so that's just my personal preference. And then I'm going to go for a couple of longer ones on the outer edge. You want the glue to be slightly tacky, you don't want it to be like fresh glue. You see the difference between the 2 lashes? That's just got so much more depth underneath. You kind of have to trust the process as well, like you can always go back in and add more if you want to over time. But for me, I just like to start off with like minimal and then work my way up to if I want more. Okay, I'm gonna go off camera and do the other eye and come back to you. I'm not gonna make you sit through 2 lash applications, do you know what I mean? Okay, lashes are done. I'm feeling happy with them, but like I said, I might go back and add more. Oh, I've got an itchy foot. Right, skin. Roll these sleeves up, let's get serious. Right, I'm gonna use my Kosas Sunbeam drops. You know, I just love them as a base. Or do we wanna go for, yeah, we want these. I was gonna suggest, should we go for Charlotte Tilbury, but let's go for this. So when I'm doing my base products, I always want to make sure that I'm building the base up rather than just like slapping a foundation on. So I'll always do like a pre-product, a bit of a foundation, more concealer for coverage, and then contour bronzer. And I'll always make sure to leave that under eye area free of product. Then for foundation, I'm sorry, but I'm still using and obsessed with this Christian Dior foundation stick. It's just so versatile. You can shear it down and have it as nothing, or you can completely build it up to everything. Again, making sure that it's not going under my eye too much. The skin under your eye is just so delicate and thin, you don't want to overpower it with products, because that's when you're going to get loads of sort of like movement and creasing, excess creasing should I say. My arm's hurting. I'm going to go over and press that in with the Beauty Blender. This is the Vive one and I'm obsessed with it. And then today's concealer of choice for coverage, we're going to use MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC30. This is like my ride or die fail-safe concealer. And to be honest, every time I have this on my skin just photographs so beautifully. I'm just a MAC girl at heart, really. I always will be. I am so passionate about how great their products are. And I am very passionate about who they are as a company. Their ethos has always been well ahead of the game. So I like to add more coverage in the center of my face, and then for an evening glam like this, I'll cover up more of my acne scarring, so quite a lot on the cheeks. But again, I'll still build it. I won't just slap it on, you know? And you just see how gorgeous that finish is. That's probably, to be honest, as much coverage as I will go for. Under my eyes, I'm going to use a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury Colour Corrector Magic Eye Eraser, I think it's called. You guys know how much I love this, and you can see how much I love this. I'm actually just going to use my finger to blend a little bit in underneath. I always like to use my ring finger for pressing products into the skin because I feel like you can have quite a delicate touch with your ring finger. Please tell me I packed an under eye concealer. Are you joking me? We're just gonna have to use this under the eyes, which is not ideal because I don't like using the same colour concealer for your face as I do for my eyes. I think that your under eye colour should be brighter, but alas, we've got no fucking choice. So with my under eye concealer, as you can see, I don't like to have too much product again, and I go sort of like, I cut the shape of your natural under eye, but then when I get to the outer edge, I make sure that the brush strokes are just back and forth, so it keeps that elongated shape that you've created with your eyeshadow. Actually, this hasn't turned out too bad, and sometimes I feel like these makeup mishaps are for a reason. Then I'm going to do a Makeup by Mario trick, and I'm going to set basically the whole of my face with translucent setting powder before I add in contour and bronzer. I'm just putting it in the lid, like really getting all of that product into the brush. Starting on my under eyes, and then literally just pressing that in. Then going in with my contour stick, which is my Makeup by Mario, the Makeup by Mario stick, and I like to put that up in the temples, cut that lower cheekbone, and then a bit under the jaw as well. Then I use my foundation brush and I just press that in. You don't want to move the product too much, so pressing is always my preferred. And then when I get to the under the chin, I will sort of blend that a little bit differently. And then I'll always go in with my Beauty Blender on top, just to fully make sure it's all blended. Then for bronzer, I'm gonna go for the Charlotte Tilbury, whatever one this is, Airbrush Bronze, on my trusty Sainsbury's brush. I've literally used this brush for years and I love it. And I kind of go over where I've been with contour, just in a slightly wider area. The bronzer wants to sit slightly above the contour, so you're overlapping, but the bronzer's sitting slightly higher. Always across the bridge of the nose, like the best place to do it. Down the neck. Then we're gonna go with the underneath. So I'm gonna take this sort of initial blending brush we used for the eyeshadow, and we're gonna go in with that same sort of reddy brown, right on the tip, tapping off the excess, and then blending underneath. Just sort of going back and forth. Then I will always, no matter what, go with my bronzer on top of that. I just feel like it does something. And that's pretty much all I'll do underneath. I want to keep it really light. And then I'm going to do my bottom mascara. This is MAC Extended Play Gigaback Lash, never without it. And my tip for bottom mascara is you want to look straight ahead and just sort of wiggle the wand onto the root of the lashes. Got to speak into the mic.
Lovely stuff.
Do you want to do your steam? You look sensational. I'm into this new vibe that you're going for.
I've started making an effort. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really
I like
giving.
This. You got the blue?
It's just a scrunchie.
On brand. Yeah, but it's on brand.
What are you doing with that hair?
Brushing it for a start. Do you know what? I think maybe you could just go like this.
Are you taking the piss?
Yeah.
Good. We'll never know.
Surely you don't think that would be
I
the
feel
vibe
like.
you're going for?
Let me show you the dress.
All right.
Mind, that'd be lovely.
What have you done? Did you smash something?
Yeah, my favourite concealer. MAC Pro Longwear NC30. Someone needs to give me a fucking day off this week. Do you know what I mean? Blusher I'm using Rare Beauty Grateful. Oh, always grateful. No, I've got mic on. This always looks really scary, but honestly just one dot and then you buff it out with the brush. But again, making sure I'm pressing it into the skin rather than like rubbing the brush across my face. I always take a bit of my nose as well. And then again, going in with my beauty blender just to make sure it's all fully blended. I'm gonna mix these two products for a bit of highlighter. So I've got Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter and then Rare Beauty Transcend Highlighter. This has at least got a little bit of the pinky that I was going for, which I've forgotten in every other product for this outfit, but whatever. I've got a little bit more pinky and then the Flawless Filter, which is more skin tone. Just mix them together. You wanna apply that to, the easiest way to apply highlighter is if you turn your face into the natural light or any light and you see where the light hits it, that's where you want to place your highlighter. Again, this is probably another product that I'd prefer to build up rather than whack on. And then I do a bit over my top lip. Okay, because I forgot my pink lipstick, which is tragic, I'm going to use my Rimmel Cappuccino lip liner and then this, I don't know what the fuck that is, some sort of blended sweet. The Nimya, she said what? Nimya by Nikki Tutorials, which is, I guess, like a pink iridescent lip gloss, which is hope for the best, really.
It is, yeah.
Are you?
I've got pinky blushes and stuff.
Have you?
Yeah, all like Mitchell ones.
Oh yeah, I'll use some of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
It's alright. This is why you have to be friends with gays.
I know. It's the dream. People who aren't are really missing out.
Just a small makeup bag.
Small makeup bag for I don't wear much. So with lip liner, I basically keep my mouth slightly open and do tiny little dashes with the liner around my lip line. You can always go back in after you put your lipstick, but I mean, I would actually put lipstick on first before liner, but I've only just realised that I've got something I can use. So let's put a little bit of this blush in Posy Rosy. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand just because I've not worked with it before. And then you can go back in with the liner. Lip gloss on top. And I always go slightly over the line because then the pigments reflect, bounce off the light. Okay, I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this blush, press it into the brush and just go over. Okay, finishing off with the One Size setting spray. I love this. I've also decided I prefer an aerosol setting spray.
Is that like the L'Oreal one?
Yeah.
It feels like hairspray in your face.
I don't know if I've noticed that, but yeah, now you say it. Hope you enjoy. Tom's done my hair, so we are ready. I think I'm gonna keep that tucked behind because otherwise I'll play with it and then maybe I'll keep it tucked like that. What do we think? Do we like? It's made my hair look so shiny. I need to get these bits trimmed in a bit. They're a bit long again. I really hope you enjoyed that style video. I actually loved just sort of chatting you through makeup again. It's been so long since I've done that. So if you did enjoy it, please let me know down below and I will see you very, very soon.